So, Brendan, thanks for coming in.
No
You're going to tell
problem.
us all about the Donegal calendar and the other things that you're involved with.
Oh, yes.
So,
No
if you
problem.
give me a rough when the Donegal calendar started and why you started it.
I started it because I'm a keen photographer, and I say photographer, I'm not a photographer, but I take lots of photographs and I get them right. And when I would be going back to Donegal, my mother was in the hospice for 9.5 weeks. And I would go back and I would visit her. And before, she wouldn't be ready till kind of after lunch, right? So anyway, I would go out and take a few photographs. For example, like John Baxter, who was on the calendar, sat beside the fire, and photographs of characters like that. And I said to myself, maybe I could do something here. So I did mention to her about it, and I used to take up the laptop when Maureen was there and show the photographs. I would take of John Baxter and different people around Creasla, where my mother was from.
So, you showed these to your mum?
Oh, I showed them
Oh,
at the van. Certain photographs that I'd taken, and the 9.5 weeks I'd be going over at the weekend to visit her.
Right.
So I would go over and visit her and show her the photographs, and I would say, I was down taking a photograph of John Baxter. I took a photograph of this man, and blah, blah, blah. And she says, I'm thinking of doing a calendar for the hospice. Oh, that'd be nice. You know, she had a great sense of humour, my mother. And I used to take photographs of her as well in the hospice. And she would say to me then, you would know this. You must have enough photographs now for the memorial card. And anyway, I said, yeah, we'll have plenty. I want to make sure I have a good one of you anyway. But anyway, that's how the calendar became involved, And the first year we raised 7,000 for the hospice, which I thought was a great amount of money at the time.
Yeah.
And anyway, we raised the 7,000, and I says, geez, I'll do it again. So the previous year, Donegal won the All Ireland.
Right.
And I just didn't have time. And in hindsight, I had all the photographs. I could have used every one from the Donegal All Ireland final.
Yeah.
And I just felt I was too much under pressure to try and get it done, because with the Donegal dinner dance coming up, with Cherconnell Gale's anniversary dinner dance, because every weekend leading up to Christmas, I'm out doing something, because I want content for the Vintage Day programme as well, which is another thing we'll talk about. And that's why I missed that particular year. But to date, we have raised, with your help and Seamus Quinn and Tim Kelly, very important to mention them people, we've raised over 220,000.
It's amazing.
It's a fabulous amount of money.
Yeah.
Through a calendar. Plus, I'm going out and meeting people through Donegal, principally Donegal, and getting photographs and just get as characters I prefer. People might think, well, why do you not take scenery in that? The scenery will always be there. There's always maybe the front covers of scenery. And there's plenty of scenery in Donegal. It'll always be there, but the characters is just kind of, they're disappearing.
But you're doing all this while you're doing a full-time job as well.
That's it. I work for a company called Keltbury. I say a shuttering donkey. It's supposed to be called a shuttering ship here, right? It's pure mule work. The body has suffered this last 43 years since I'm here in London.
Yeah.
And I came here in 82, and it's not an easy job. And as you get older, I'm 64 now, it just takes its toll. But also, I'm keeping at it, and I'm going to do it for another year or whatever. Hopefully head back to the hills of Donegal next year. I might continue the calendar. But there's one person that I can't forget to include in this conversation, is my good wife, Maureen. Without her help and dedication and operating the laptop, because I can't use it, this would not be possible. And that goes to say, with anything we do, whether it's putting a compilation of photographs together for the Donegal dinner dance, a slideshow, or if it goes to like the car sponsored or anything at all, she's involved as well. She doesn't think she is, but she is.
Yeah. So when did the calendar start?
It started in 2011. I was working for a company called MPB, Mick and Pat Boyd, who's one of the sponsors now at the moment, a very good company. And I just started it with the help of Helen Corbett up at Kelly's. She would do the setting out for me. Then she would invoice people and things like that. Without that help, you can't do it.
So, I noticed this year you've got a lovely picture of Daniel O'Donnell. What's his involvement with the calendar?
Well, the first year, the year I really got involved was, or Daniel got involved, was he was down at the Royal Albert Hall. So I made contact and they said, call down to the Royal Albert Hall, who's playing the night, whatever night it was anyway. That was in 2012, so I called down anyway, and I was working out in Reading at the time for Danny Sullivan at the time, and went down and met him there at 2 o'clock because he had other things to do as well apart from me taking a few photographs. So I wanted to photograph him at something iconic in London. So anyway, I went and I said, Daniel, I'd like to get a photograph outside a London telephone box. So anyway, as we went over to the Kensington Park Gardens, there was a couple of telephone boxes there, took a few photographs, and he came back over then, and as we were coming back over, there was a queue a mile long going into the Albert Hall. So what did Daniel do? He just went into the middle and had photographs with people that was in wheelchairs, disabled people. It's no odds who you were or what you were. Daniel stopped there and took a photograph.
So he had time for everybody. Yeah.
Time for everybody, and that's what I admire about Daniel Henry. He has time for everybody, and he's an unbelievable ambassador for Donegal.
Yeah.
And Ireland.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
So he's been featured now about 3 or 4 times in the hospice calendar.
That's excellent.
This is one that I took up at Ramelton Festival. He kindly came over and opened the festival for them at Lennon and Ramelton, and he was there, and it's just unbelievable. And he's opened so many festivals in Donegal this last, over in Dunlewy, Mary from Dunlow, and the Ramelton. I might have left out a couple now that I'm not sure. But
he's been very good for the calendar.
Oh, good for the calendar. And July is in the month of July as well, which the month he was up at Ramelton Festival, it's great.
Yeah, so he's a big part of the calendar as well.
Of
it's
course.
Great, it's excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, so he's a good part of it. That is, you've got some fantastic people in there. You've got some fantastic people making contributions.
That's it.
So that's what the calendar's all about.
That's what it's about, making money for the hospital.
Yeah.
And something I forgot to add on to just is that this money this year is going to a room in the Donegal town and the community hospital. The Donegal hospice has got a room in it,
right?
And it's going to be going into that.
And that's what the money's going into.
Yes,
it's contribution
towards. It's going to go to the hospice, but it's being diverted to accommodate
a unit within that room,
to open up West Donegal.
Yeah,
to save a lot of families the journey from the likes of Glencolumkill. It's a fair journey from Glencolumkill to Donegal town, not to talk about going to Letterkenny. And this is what it's going to help open the room in Donegal town.
So has the sponsorship grown since you started?
It has. There's one or two has kind of came out because companies have moved on, and they're not in existence. But there's other companies, and if there's any more people out there that wants to come on board, there's no problem. I'll take them on board for next year.
Yeah, well, you're obviously going to keep it going.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what the photographs. What have you done this year?
Well, there's a photograph there of Wally Moore. Wally's a real character. He's a farmer. He's about 83 years of age, an absolute gentleman. But that's the kind of people I like to take photographs. So I often see them putting bales of hay on the top of the car, to take around, feed the animals, There's about 50 or 60 head of animals in the parish around Kerrygart and that. And so anyway, every time I missed him. So I was back one weekend, and Ewan Jim McFadden and Eamon Coyle says, would you give me a hand to get this over the line? So we got the hay, we got the bales of hay sorted out, and we got everything else sorted. And I says to Ewan Jim, have you got a rope to tie the bales of hay on, because we're going to go drive across one of the biggest bridges in Donegal, a Fannet Bridge, Harry Blaney Bridge. And he says, oh, we're not going to use a rope, we're going to use a ratchet strap, and not far better. So anyway, we used the ratchet strap, and as we say, the rest is history. And we got to. There was me sitting in the back of a van. It was a bit bouncy. I got an photograph of him coming over without it being shaky, but I preferred the photograph I used, him standing at the back of the van.
It's a great photo, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great character. Then there's other ones as well. There's a few scenery, there's a few this, few that, and that's basically it. I'm out and about, and I just stop along the road and I'll chat to him for like a Michael Sweeney there. I stopped him up in Glen outside Carrygart, and
So you're getting well known around.
Well, I'd be fairly well known. They wouldn't know me as Brendan, but they would know me as Tiny. And even in London, that's the nickname Seamus Carr put on me in '82.
Stuck with you.
And it stuck with me, and a lot of people in Donegal would know me throughout, even at football matches. I was a bit disappointed. I couldn't get a photographer's pass at the All-Ireland final between Kerry and Donegal. They just were very, very strict. I mean, you had to apply for it in January, which I didn't, and there was no leeway at all. And I went through some hoops with political connections, and I know, and different people that are well established within the GA, and they just weren't forthcoming, And they think I'm going to get personal gain out of it. There's not. I do enjoy covering finals and Ulster finals and that, but I wanted to have something else in case of the calendar,
Yeah, you weren't doing it for personal gain, you're doing it for the good of the calendar.
The good of the calendar and the hospice.
And the hospice.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing what you've been doing over the years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've been on the journey since I started.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
You're the first man. I mean, I know you've changed the glass. I know you've changed the glasses. Your eyesight get worse. That's why you have to come down here to check in.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. But what other events are involved with the calendar? You ever?
Well, I also had a car sponsor this year for 2 children in Donegal that have cancer, and the only place they can get treatment is Holland, because they're more advanced there than any other part of the world, So they've gone out there to have treatment, and we're as we speak, we're still going through the process of bringing money in, and the calendar will hopefully
make a contribution towards that.
What do you call Dennis Ferry and Leslie O'Donnell are panicking a wee bit. They want to draw it as soon as possible because people are asking questions. Oh, but this blah blah blah. They don't need to worry. The car's there. It will be drawn. The money will go to the people at Christmas. They deserve every penny because they're going through a difficult time, and it will be going to them. There's no question about that. And the car was kindly sponsored by Tim Kelly. Seamus Quinn was very generous as well. Mick Boyle. There's too many people
to mention.
Yeah. Because I'll leave out somebody.
Well, we'll put it up on the screen to show all the sponsors.
Yeah.
Because they're a big part of it. Because X amount of money is made with the calendars.
Yes, that goes to the calendar.
And then X amount of money is put together by the sponsors.
Yes, and a lot of them sponsors that's on the calendar are sponsoring this car as well. And then we've got other events that are involved with as well, like the Vintage Day. That was last September with a glorious weather, with a great day. And the thing about it, we get great support from the Donegal connection as well. You look at like wee Michael O'Donnell, as I call him. He phoned me up on the Wednesday. He says, "Would you need anything moved with the lorry?" He says, I says, "I do." So he moved barriers for me. I took it back again. Michael Fingers O'Donnell, that's what we call Michael Fingers because he lost one of the fingers. He took a lorry load of Harris fence paneling. That saves us a fortune.
Yeah.
And then we had John McDade, Damien Barber. They took an Arctic load of Harris fence paneling as well. It's 2 Arctic loads.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a lot of money to get that hauled.
Yeah.
Then you had Martin Novell, who is to bulk transfer, and he moved he took the stage. We had 2 stages at the day, and they took the 2 stages. And without that help, we couldn't do
The
it.
event wouldn't have happened.
No, the event cannot happen.
Yeah.
And we get a wild lot. And then Tim Kelly had a hospitality marquee there, and we gave them as much help as we could. JB Structures give us a few men. Paul O'Donnell gave us a few men, and Mac Rail gave us a few men. No, different companies like that. And I'll probably leave out a company, which I apologise, because it's hard to remember them all.
Yeah. So what was involved with the event, and how was it all put together?
It was all put together over the last 6 months leading up to it. Darragh O'Brien was involved with the council because they can be very awkward and contrary. They want every box ticked, and it's not that easy. Then we had Damien Wright, the safety man. He was heavily involved. Then we had, Levy fella helping us from Kelly's. I forget his first name. And he helped us unbelievable. Without that, it's a lot trickier to get it over the line now than when I done it from day one by myself, because we just set up on the day.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot more involved now.
Oh, a lot more involved. It takes a lot of effort.
How many people would go to the event then? Is it the whole town? It's all in Donegal, isn't it?
Hey?
Where's the event staged?
Oh, Greenford.
Oh, in Greenford.
Greenford, West London. But the reason you say it's Donegal Day, or people do say it's not a Donegal Day. It's an Irish day, and we get a wild lot of support from Donegal people. They come and support it, like them companies giving us the men to help set it up. And do you know, like Jim Coffey as well gives us a few men. Martin Masterson gives us the ply and the 4x3 and the 6x3 to do the dance floor. MP Moran gives us the screws.
Yeah, there's a lot of involvement.
O'Donovan brothers give us the skips. Do all that there.
This is like a big thank you to everyone who takes part. Isn't it?
Of course it is.
Shows.
And what do you call it? Celtic Traffic Management. They look after all the traffic. The traffic we have there it just goes like clockwork, because you have Celtic there and one gate out the other gate, except the lorries. They go out the same gate as they come in. But we had a massive amount of vehicles there, vintage tractors, cars and lorries. We done a road run on the Sunday morning from Maple Cross, Martin Novell's yard, and to Greenford. And
who took part in the event? Who was on the stage?
Derek Ryan, great entertainer. And then we had Hungry Grass there, we had Slum playing. We had a fabulous day for it, and Derek Ryan's manager, Brian Jordan, very easy to deal with, and we were able to use his equipment as well, which saves us a few pounds as well, and it's great, Are
these people all taking part without taking fees? They're all just part of it.
Well, the bands have to get paid, but there's a lot of other things that we have to pay for security, we have to pay for the cabling layout, the generators to Speedy Hire.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous service, but we could do with Speedy Hire maybe if we have anybody out there that could contact us and give us, we want it for nothing. I want everything for nothing if I can, because we got Speedy Hire, Harris Fence paneling, Speedy Hire generators and all that, and but it's worth it, because we'll have raised 60,000 for the 4 nominated charities, which I'll name one of them now. One of them is the Northern Ireland Air Ambulance, which are a great organisation, and they save Southern Ireland as well. If there's an incident like what happened in Creesla 3 years ago, they were out helping out there, great organisation as well.
And most of this money does go to the charity, doesn't it?
Oh, it goes.
Everything that's raised is...
Yes, it does. And the likes of that money, we'll have the cheque presentation now the day before the Donegal dinner dance, which is only a couple of weeks away, in the Clandaring, Friday night. And we're having the 4 charities there. We'll present them with each 15,000, which is a nice lump of money.
Yeah.
Then after that, we'll have Eddie O'Kane from Your Irish Shop. He gives us 20 or 30 hampers and we look for volunteers or people, recommendations for them hampers to be given out in the London Irish community within them 25. And the reason being is because there might be a family that's maybe down a wee bit in their luck, and maybe somebody lost a partner or something simple.
Yeah.
And we get the nominations. Mickey McFadden, with the use of Podtrack's van, will deliver them about 2 weeks before Christmas, which is nice.
Yeah, lovely.
It's nice to be able to give back as well to the community,
And that's all the Donegal event in the Claddery.
Oh, that's not the Donegal. That's because of the Vintage Day.
Oh, okay.
It's not a Donegal Day because everybody...
Tell us a bit about the Donegal Day then, while we've got the opportunity.
Well, you've got the Donegal dinner dance. That's on, and you've got the Kerry dinner dance, and you've got... I go and cover them all. I mean, they're going to have a big one this year because they have the Sam Maguire there. And obviously, we got beat by Kerry, a great Kerry team,
Yeah.
And but the Vintage Day, the London Irish Vintage Club Vintage Day is a fabulous day, family day. And we're always trying to have extra things and new ideas if we can, but it's very difficult to do these things with the council because they need to have everything advanced, I mean, I wanted to have the chainsaw carver there, and he told me about 2 days before that he could go. Now, probably he must have forgot or whatever, but we just can't do that.
What's that? The chainsaw?
A chainsaw carver.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, what he does, carves maybe 1 year he charged a bear. He carved a big bear. Now, he's the European champion a couple of years in a row. Then he could come along and he could make a bench, and we'd auction that out, and we'll get our few pound that we have paid him to come. We'll give him an extra few pound to make that, and we do that. We'll have an auction on the day then.
Yeah. And someone get the opportunity to buy it, and it's done.
And myself and Joel McInairn done the auction on the day,
Now, they're your two main events in the Donegal calendar and the Vintage Day.
A Vintage Day, yeah. And I might do an odd thing like the car, We got a Mercedes C180, and Bernard Gallagher back in Letterkenny, Donegal, wrapped it in the colours.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was great to get it done,
So all your efforts, what you've done, you did actually get Donegal Man of the Year?
I got that, me and the wife, because I wouldn't accept it unless she was involved as well, because at the end of the day, as I said earlier...
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort, and she does all the emailing, and it's a lot of work emailing. I mean, she was in Donegal now, emailing loads of people. She was back there looking after her mother for a week, and in the process, she done that as well,
Yeah.
And, you can't overlook that. I think it was 2018 I got London Donegal Person of the Year,
What does that mean to get that?
That's nice. And any accolade you get, I don't matter how big or how small it is, it's great.
It's an appreciation to show the work.
And I received that in recognition of the people that have supported me over the years, whether I do the hospice calendar or whether I do the Vintage Day or whatever I do,
So local people vote for you, do they? Or is it a panel?
I don't know how it goes, because, I mean, this year, I don't know, I can't really mention his name, but I know the fellas get it this year, and it's just by recommendation.
Where did you receive your award?
At the Donegal Dinner Dance.
Oh, okay.
Aye, at the Donegal, up in the Wembley Hilton Hotel.
So it's a big event.
That's a big, there's 500 people go and sit down.
Yeah.
There's a big, strong Donegal community in London, and fair play to Mark Monigill. He's keeping it going, and he's committee, He's a good fellow.
So there's still a big Irish community in London?
Oh, it's still massive. Especially Donegal, Kerry, Galway and Mayo.
You still getting young people coming over?
Oh, there is a few coming over. I mean, not in the construction industry. I mean, I'm a shuttering carpenter. I work for a company called Kelprie. And there's not many young fellas coming over now to work in construction. Even in general, there's not many young people coming into it.
Yeah.
Because it is a difficult job, and it's a hard job. And
because the Irish are well known for the construction industry.
Oh, they were there. I mean, there's a lot of Irish companies here in London,
And that's changing, you think?
That is changing. Even Romanians coming into the country and coming into construction, I don't think it's as much as it used to be, and Romanians are very good workers. Even the Polish, I haven't seen many Polish in the industry either. It's all changed.
So you won't see any young Irishmen starting up building companies anymore.
I find it hard to believe. Maybe there is engineers coming over, but not as many construction, carpenters like myself.
So you probably find that they're highly educated now. They're going into more IT and other things.
That's it. I mean,
more specialist thing.
I left school at 18. I went to the Milford Tech, and I was at national school for. I never missed a day, and we never missed getting a bathing. It was the brutalest few years I've ever spent at school. And I still think about it, how we were brutalised.
Yeah.
And they know that there was a young fella sitting beside me, and we always knew, I won't say his name, but we always knew that he was off for a good period of time, but we were only young children, maybe 10 or 11, and we knew there was something wrong with his head.
Yeah.
But see, that's the mentality of the teachers who was there, and he came along and still hit him in the head,
Yeah.
And
it was tough in the schools then, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a terrible place to be. And if you weren't clever and smart, you were left behind, and all you were was brutalised and abused. That's
Who were the teachers of the time?
Oh, a man called Paddy Kelly. I've no fear of.
But they weren't priests. You wouldn't
not
go
at
to
all. No,
this was in Donegal.
that was in Donegal, and I went to school every day. I never missed time. Life was brutal. Even my mother told me when she went to school in Creesla, the teacher used to ride the bicycle around him, roaring like a lunatic.
Why do you think that was?
Because he could get away with it.
Yeah.
There was three lots of people they were afraid of: doctors, priests, and the guards. They were all afraid of them people, and they had a control.
Power then.
They had power. Not anymore. But life. I know we're getting carried away.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I know but I mean, life. I didn't really talk about it very much in public.
Yeah.
But life at school, if you could call it school, was brutal. I mean, I remember my mother taking me. She says to me, I was just talking about today, funny enough, at work about it. She says, "You're walking very funny. What's wrong with you?" Oh, she says, "I got an awful beating in the backside." She says, "Well, show me your backside." I took my trousers down anyway, and I was at the stage where it was nearly bleeding through the skin. I was that badly beat.
Wow.
He beat us with a rod. So anyway, she says, "This has to stop." Now my round fella's as big as me, but I would have loved if he had went over and just lifted him off the ground with his right hook.
And was he doing it to everybody? Or?
No, not everybody.
He picked on a few.
But there was I'll tell you, he done it to a lot of people, but there was a few he didn't. And I mean, the life we had at school was brutal.
And you weren't a naughty child.
You couldn't. You wouldn't step out of line. Yeah. People say, "Oh, you must have done something." If you were going to get hammered, you weren't going to step out of line. And you stand up at a blackboard, and you'd hardly able to reach the blackboard, and he would come along then, and he would drive his knee into the back of your leg. You only a child.
Gosh.
And that went on day in, day out.
That must have been, the thought of going to school must have been awful.
It was savage. You probably were in bed at night, you didn't sleep at night.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and you were, and then you knew nothing, you were petrified, you couldn't learn anyway. I couldn't write my name till I was 12.
No, I bet.
And mathematics, I don't know how I ever became a chippy, because mathematics is terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
you're not thinking about learning, you're thinking about getting through the day.
I'm lucky that at the time they brought out a wristwatch that you use as a calculator.
Oh, right.
So that came out, and I used the calculator on that. And then you have the phone. If there were simple things like dividing something into whatever it was, I would use the phone.
We're not talking about a long time ago when this was going on. Only in the 70s.
I mean, they only stopped corporal punishment in schools, I think in 1982, back in Ireland.
In Ireland, yeah.
But the system we had, and I mean, I could bring on 10 people that would talk about him.
Because they weren't accountable, were they?
They weren't accountable. And I mean, I remember him coming to my mother's wake. I mean, you can edit this out, but if you want.
No.
But anyway, he came to my mother's wake, and I still didn't get over the
Your
hatred,
childhood, yeah.
the hatred of that individual. He came to my mother's wake, and Michael Kerr, who was an undercover policeman here for years, and my uncle Frank Kerr, when I seen him, I lost the plot
Really?
at my mother's wake. And I says to him, I says, I seen him in the distance, I says, I'm gonna lift him off the ground, I says, with my fist.
Yeah, and I bet there's many people like you who'd like to have done that.
Oh, and you know this say, Michael and Francie Kerr took me around to the back of the house and got me settled. I was just boiling.
That boiling.
I was boiling. And the people have, and I says to Francie, he says, you can't do it. And you know this, well, you ever have regrets in life? That's one of the regrets I have. Because I felt if I had lifted him about 2 foot off the ground on my fist, that would have
finished it in your head.
In my head.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he brutalised us.
You didn't feel there was sort of revenge. He didn't get basically what you felt he deserved. He didn't.
Not at all.
He wasn't accountable for what he'd done.
Not accountable.
And he was doing it to others. He wasn't just
He
doing
was.
it.
I remember, I won't say the girl's name, but she was there. She was a bundle of nerves, and I could see her. And anyway, he banged the table a lot harder than that, right? And she just wet herself like that.
Girls.
You know what I mean? Things like that.
It's amazing how parents allowed it as well. They didn't.
Yeah, but probably their parents before.
Yeah, it was totally time. Yeah, it was.
My father left school when he was 14, and he was such a clever man because he could do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he grew up and he could put his hand in it, you know.
Amazing, yeah.
Oh, I mean, when the electric came to our parish about 70, 80 years ago, there was no electricians. He was showing how to, the electrical board would take a fuse inside the kitchen. Then they were showing then how to put a light and a switch. That was it. And he was showing that. Then he became an electrician.
Wow.
And then there was no plumbers in the parish, and they would take a pipe to the out to the wall. He was showing then people didn't have sinks in the house; they just had a tap outside. Simple. We had no toilet. We were growing up in the house. We had no toilet in the house.
So this was only 70s.
Well, I mean,
because you're 64.
I'm
so
64.
You're born, say, 62.
Yeah. About 50 years ago, we had a toilet over in the shade, a bucket.
Yeah.
You know, that was simple life. At national school, there was no toilet. There was a big hole under the ground, and some farmer would come along and clear it out once a year, you know.
Amazing. It's amazing, really.
My mother used to tell me she went to school in her bare feet. We didn't go to school in our bare feet. Our most common footwear was a Wellingtons all the time, day and night.
That's actually incredible.
And that's what you wore.
Yeah.
And you didn't think a hit about it. I remember somebody giving me a pair of boots. I think they were handed down, but they were 10 times too big for me. But I had about 5 pair of socks on them, and I wore them on the hottest day of the year. And so anyway, I didn't wear them again. You know, but that's a good memory.
Yeah, it's a good memory.
A good memory, but I mean, well, I had more bad memories of school than good. I mean, my mother, getting away, took me over to Monsignor McLaughlin and made me take my trousers down and show him my backside, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I was in agony.
Mm.
And it stopped us getting hit in the backside, but didn't get a stop
on the hands. Which is brutal as well.
And he would hit you out in the edge of the hands. And this was regular, you know.
He was just sadistic. He just wanted to hurt.
A bad bastard.
Yeah.
You know, he was...
And got away with it. And did until the end. He never got...
No, he never got any prosecution or nothing.
Wasn't accountable for anything he'd done in his past.
Nothing whatsoever. But...
and you had a small community you were in, obviously, at the time.
Of course. I mean, the parish of Meva, where I come from, it's a very small community. Yeah. And there's 2 other schools. My mother wanted me to go to the school in Devonria, which was just up the road, Master Galler, to see if it'd get him away to stop the carry on, because he wasn't as brutal as him. But he says, I can't do that. You know, at that time they couldn't just take one. But that was the way it was done there, unfortunately. But I've carried that all my life. People have said, "Oh, you have to forget about this."
Yeah.
You can never forget about your brutalisation at school, I never will. But my kids went to a good Catholic school up in Harrow-on-the-Hill, and they got a good education. And I'll tell you, if any teacher had ever laid a hand...
Yeah. You were so aware of it, weren't you?
Oh, I would never I would never have tolerated,
See, there's good things that come out of these things. When people talk about corporal punishment, there's no benefit to it really, because it gives people the opportunity to overdo it, don't they?
Oh, no question
Which was
about
definitely the case in your case.
Oh, unbelievable, hey, the amount of people that I witnessed getting battered. There was a young fella stood up at the front of the front of the class, and he says, "My mother told me to tell you to stop hitting me." Well, he lost the plot, and he battered him. And battered him up at the...
Because there was no...
And we were only small kids, and I mean, what are we going to say?
It's incredible.
You know how...
It's amazing how they got away with it.
It was just cruelty at its worst.
Cruelty, yeah. Because you're not learning nothing, are you?
No, that's what happened to me. I was too afraid to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
School for you was like somewhere you didn't want to go.
It was just a prison.
Yeah.
An open prison. And the treatment you got there was just...
So where did it change for you in your schooling? Did it get better later?
It did. Well, I'll tell you now, I left school at about 12, and I went to the Tech in Milford. And my mother said to me, she says, "Look, try it for 2 weeks. And if you're not, if you don't like it, just leave it."
Yeah.
She says. And I went up on the bus, the Lost Woolley bus. Joe McHugh used to drive the bus up. And every day I was sick as a dog. You had to have to stop, or sometimes you'd open the door, you just get sick out the door.
Yeah.
The reason being, I was that petrified.
Scared, terrified of it, yeah.
Every day I was sick. Oh. So anyway, there was a man there, the headmaster, Jim McCallum, and I says to myself, "Jesus, a big man here. I wonder how we're going to get on."
Yeah.
So anyway, I stuck out the Tech, and I went to the woodwork. I loved the woodwork, and I loved the things you're doing with your hands. Metalwork. We had Denny Gorman as a metalwork teacher. We had the likes of Dennis Boyce, Frank Ward, Mickey Doherty as woodwork teachers, And it was different. We didn't get battered every day.
Yeah. So now so you saw it different. You're starting to see it differently now, because before that you just thought they were all the same.
All the same. I thought they were just going to be. I was going to be brutalized.
Yeah.
The only one of the only things I had was, I went into the toilets one time, and this third year fella, a bigger fella than me, he says, he tried to put my head down the toilet. So I says, "You're not going to put my head down the toilet." So anyway, I had him a couple of haymakers, and that was the end of that. I just knocked him out.
So you're starting to change now. You're changing now.
Oh, I had to change, because I wasn't going to let anybody go right over the top of me. So I gave him a couple of haymakers, and that was the end, because I hated bullies. I hated people being bullied and taken advantage.
Still do. Yeah.
And if I seen somebody be taken advantage of, I would step in, But that's the Tech. It was the most enjoyable place I've ever been,
And how long did you stay there for?
I stayed there 5 years. I think it was 5 years. I think it's the duration anyway. I stayed there whatever length of time it was. And with the likes of Liam McDavid, who was a great woodwork teacher as well, and it was a great place. I mean, I didn't misbehave or nothing, because you were in there to learn, and I enjoyed the woodwork, I remember there was an incident in the metalwork room where they burned a big section of it. The floor was burnt, and to Denny Gorman says, "You may put down the floor and do that bit of work." And I thought it was a great experience to be able to do that, to repair.
Something
practical. The metalwork was a great experience, We never done that before. And then you go down, you do a bit of wood turning, and then they didn't have a bandsaw there, but the bandsaw came in, and were allowed to use the bandsaw. Then the planer and thickness were there. There was very few people allowed to use it, but were allowed to use... That was in the old Milford Tech. Now They have a new Milford Tech there, you know, and
That's still there.
I'm still there, but it's used for different other projects up there in Milford. But I enjoyed every day at the Tech. And apart from that, we'd be going away then to play Gaelic football at different levels.
Venues.
And Eugene McGinley, who was from Gweedore, he would take us in his Volkswagen Beetle, Blue Beetle, and take us to football matches. And we'd go to the likes of County Vocational School team, and Packy Boner used to play in the team, and Dennis Boner and different people they got there. And anyway, Packy says, I'm heading to Celtic. There's the last game we played. He says, I'm heading to Celtic.
Oh, yeah.
So he went to Celtic. I think the last game we played was in Derry, Templemore Sports Complex. That's a good few years ago. And then he got the bus he was getting the bus then to Glasgow to play for Celtic, you know.
Yeah.
I've met him now, Dennis, a good few times, you know.
Yeah.
And we played against one another many a time in Gaelic football, you know. But an absolute gentleman too for Donegal, you know.
That's wonderful. So when did you decide to come to England?
I came here, I met Maureen, and I think it was 1980, back in Donegal. Her father and mother from down the road, Sonny and Teresa Rogers. Sonny was an absolute gentleman. He passed away there the same year as my mother. He had cancer as well. And I came over here, decided to come over in 82. Sure, most of the Irish people say, I will go for a couple of years, you know, let's see what the crack is. And I came over here, Big Frank Lynn got me the start with Dave O'Keefe at the time. We were working out of Stoke Mandeville. That's where I met Seamus Kerr, who put the nickname Tiny on me, Tom Mohan, you know, different people they got there. Paddy Burke was out there, the manager of the Tyrconnell Gaels. So went out there and was out there for about nearly a year at Stoke Mandeville Hospital. We used to see that other buck walking about there, Jimmy Saville, and that's about all we'll say about him. And anyway, I used to wind Seamus Kerr up about Jimmy Saville and Tom Mohan.
I bet you did.
Oh, Christ. But anyway, it was great crack out there. Big Frank Lynn, he was the full back for Tyrconnell Gaels, and I started playing. I played my first game on the 20th of May 1982 for Tyrconnell Gaels, and I scored 3 goals against a good Kingdom team at the time, the Kerry team, and I was playing under a different name as you done then, because it took too long to transfer the names over, you know.
Yeah.
So I played that game, and we won the first championship in 1984.
Wow.
And I've been involved with Tyrconnell Gaels now for 43 years.
Wow, that's
since I came
amazing,
here.
yeah.
Well, there's mainly taking photographs, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Covering underage presentations, and if there's anything to be done, like taking a couple of photographs.
Is that why you got into photography?
No, my mother now gave me, it was Meta Spear and Kerry Gart, who was a good friend of my mother's, you know. And we hadn't lots of money growing up. It was a big family, a big Catholic family of 11, you know, and 8 boys and 3 girls. And what do you call it? My mother was a Trojan worker, you know. She was never idle. She would be baking soda bread, and she'd be baking scones. She'd be making jam. You name it, she would make it. And what do you call it? Take it down to Meta, and Meta would sell it, and that would take, because you used to be able to get stuff on the wee book on tick.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the way it was then,
Yeah.
because people had no money. And anyway, she would pay off all the stuff, and now fellow would be through the country, doing a bit of plumbing here, doing a bit of footy there, you know, and trying to make a few pound, you know, and times was tight, you know, and money was tight, and that's one of the reasons too I decided to come to England, because I would send her back a few pound. My first job when I was 11 was in the Kerry Gart Hotel.
Right.
I was washing dishes, and Alfie Ladley gave me the start on there for a £5 a week. And the first thing you had to do, and it wasn't a fact that you wanted to keep anything out of it, that £5 would go straight to my mother, you know. And that's the way it was. You earned any money, you give it to me. You didn't want, what did you want?
Yeah.
You know.
You just
Put
it into the family, yeah.
He was put into the family. But anyway, we worked the Kerry Gart Hotel every summer for a couple of summers, and Carrigard Hotel apparently was one of the first hotels in Ireland to have a swimming pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Oh.
that's where I learned to have to swim. A couple of the boys that would be the barmen there, big, what do you call it, Hector Michael Wayne, he would catch you and throw you into that's how you learn to swim.
A quick way, yeah.
He was a big man comparison to me, a wee 12-year-old.
Swim or sink.
Oh, swim or sink, but we did swim, and it was a great experience, you know.
It sounds like you've enjoyed your childhood apart from the schooling.
Oh, I mean,
You know.
getting up in the morning and going out to the country, sure.
Yeah.
Where we're from in Donegal, down in Carrigard, it's a fabulous location. I'm very lucky to be from where I'm from, and some great people around there as well.
Yeah.
A nice community,
Yeah.
and we're some of the nicest beaches in the world. I would say sandy beaches, and miles of sandy beaches, and it's an incredible place to be from. You know.
So your plan is to go back to Donegal and retire? You're still going to keep doing your calendars and your charity stuff?
I'm hopeful to go back next year now. I mean, to see what the story is, you know, because I'm away now a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's time to go back to your roots and where you're from, you know, and that's I've done my bit now.
You've enjoyed your time in England?
Oh, of course. The UK and London is a great country, you know. I would never knock UK or London, you know.
Yeah. But you see yourself back home in Donegal?
Oh, I do have the house nearly finished.
Yeah.
And built it too big, though, because we were young then, and we says, we'll build this, we'll build that, and it's nearly finished, you know. Lots of bits of groundwork to be done, but I can do that, and there's bits of chippy work to be done inside, you know. I can do all that when I go back.
Yeah, you have more time.
More time, you know, but it'll keep me occupied, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but that's life, you know.
Well, hopefully you're going to come back next year and tell us about the 2027 calendar.
Oh, that'll be no problem, because that everywhere I go, I take the camera with me, you know.
Yeah.
And there's no, I mean, like the likes of that one there, you know. That there is the Poison Glen. I mean, that's one of the fabulous locations in Donegal.
Yeah.
That's a wee Church of Ireland church. The history behind it, I don't really know much about it, but I'm sure people will tell me now after this. But the roof's missing of it, but it's a fine, fabulous structure overlooking Dunlewy Lake.
So if people want to make a donation, how can they get in touch with you? Well, should we give out the email address or the website?
Well, the Donegal Hospice.
Just direct.
Direct, and I mean, I'll be sending a few of them at different locations, you know. But the Donegal Hospice, it's incredible how the amount of people that they have looked after over the last whatever amount of years they're open, you know. It's incredible.
So if anyone wants to make a donation, straight to the Donegal Hospice.
Oh, that's it. And I mean, we're in the process now of finishing this calendar and getting it printed, and they'll be there before Christmas.
That's lovely.
All you got to do is speak to Isabel, and she'll tell you when they're there, you know. And this is a design that I changed, and I want just a design for the calendar only, so that's why I went down that road of doing that, you know, just to have it a wee bit different. And that's basically it, and it's the calendar's years in memory of Sheila O'Donnell's sister, who passed away there a few weeks
she's
ago.
on the calendar.
Yeah, so it's in memory of her as well.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So thanks for telling us your story.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us all about the calendar. We hope it goes well this year, and we hope you're going to come back next year and we'll do it all again.
Yes, that's right. And always thank Seamus Quinn, Tim Kelly.
Yeah.
And yourself as well, because without it, we couldn't do it.
That's wonderful. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
I don't think you'll have much editing there, an odd swear word.
No, it's good. You've done really well.
I think you should include the odd swear word.